64% of older adults begin dying from the inside, long before their bodies stop breathing. Not because of heart disease, not because of cancer, not because their memory fades, but because they lose the one thing that makes a person feel truly alive: the sensation of being touched, of being connected to their own body. No one ever told you this, but giving up physical pleasure, even when you're alone, can cause your spirit to wither faster than any illness. We're taught how to take our medicine on time, how to eat healthy, how to exercise every morning, but no one teaches us how to keep feeling alive, how to stay whole, physically and emotionally. Today, I'm not here to talk about pills. I'm here to tell you about a natural medicine your body still holds inside, right now. Whether you're in your 60s, 70s, or even 80s, a gentle, affordable, doctor-free method that can help you sleep deeper, feel more joyful, and most importantly, help you remember that you are still lovable, still worthy, and still deserve to be touched. If lately your body feels numb, your emotions feel distant, or you just don't feel like yourself anymore, then this video is for you, because what you're about to hear may completely change the way you see aging and the rest of your life. Number 1, the invisible killer. After 60, what's really stealing your years? When I was still working at the clinic, I met a man named Harold. He was 74, lean but energetic, with stable blood pressure and no signs of heart disease or diabetes. "Doctor, I still take a walk every morning, eat my greens, and my sleep is, well, it's okay," he said, forcing a half smile. Then he sat quietly for a moment, and almost in a whisper, he added, "It's just, I don't feel like I'm really living anymore." I've heard that sentence many times, from people with no serious illnesses, not hospitalized, not in pain. They were just quietly fading, emotionally, and in their connection with their own bodies. No more excitement in the morning, no more feeling when touching their own skin, just a quiet numbness, as if they were living on autopilot. And that is the invisible killer after age 60. Not cancer, not stroke, but the loss of connection to the feeling of being alive. You see, when we are young, we live through touch, through closeness, through physical pleasure, a hug, a moment of intimacy, or simply lying still and feeling your heartbeat. But as we age, society starts to tell us those things are no longer appropriate, that we are too old for those feelings, that touching ourselves, or even wanting to be touched, is something to be ashamed of. And when you start believing that, you begin to let go, not just of sensation, but of a part of your own life force. Here's the small lesson: aging doesn't kill you, but stopping yourself from feeling, from living fully in your own body, can. And the danger is, it doesn't happen all at once. It creeps in slowly, bit by bit. Like a room no one has entered, dusk gathers, the light fades, and you slowly forget how much you once loved that place. But if you're listening right now, then maybe, just maybe, that room is still there. All it takes is for you to open the door again. And in the next part, I'll share something that surprises many people. That a single, small, deeply personal act could be the key to living longer, feeling stronger, and reconnecting with who you truly are. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear may just be the turning point in the rest of your life. Number 2, the pleasure disconnect. How seniors slowly fade. Without realizing, I still remember a woman named Margaret, 78 years old, living alone in the suburbs. She kept a steady routine, reading, sipping tea, watering her garden each morning. When I asked, "How have you been feeling about life lately?" she replied, "It's peaceful, but sometimes I feel like I'm watching life through a frosted window." That sentence stayed with me, not because it was sad, but because it was so true. Many older adults go through their daily motions, but inside they're slowly fading, emotionally, cognitively, and even in their sense of being alive. The sad part is, this fading happens quietly. There are no alarms, no obvious symptoms. It's just, you stop touching your skin, stop shivering at the breeze, stop feeling joy in wearing clothes you once loved, And eventually, the feeling of living fully in your body slips away without you noticing. This is what I call the pleasure disconnect. And it's not just about sex. It's about every part of life that reminds you you're here, in this body, fully present, not just inhabiting it. Biologically speaking, when you stop stimulating your senses, even something as simple as gentle touch, self-soothing, or slow breathing, blood flow decreases, hormone levels become imbalanced, sensory nerves start to dull, and eventually your physical, emotional, and mental health all begin to decline. A real story. An older man who used to teach music once told me, back then, every time I played piano, I could feel my fingertips buzz like electricity. Now, that feeling's gone, and I don't even know when I lost it. The small lesson here is this. When you lose touch with the little pleasures, not just sexual, but emotional, sensory, even the joy of smell or sound, you begin to lose the very center of what it means to feel alive. And the scariest part? Most people don't even realize it's happening until it's too late. But you still have a chance, because if disconnection is what dulls your spark, then reconnection, even just with yourself, can bring you back. And in the next part, I'll show you one of the simplest, yet most misunderstood, keys to reigniting that spark. A deeply private act that might just be the beginning of a new life. Number 3, masturbation. After 60, the most misunderstood health habit. I know the moment you mention the word masturbation in a conversation with older adults, the atmosphere changes. There's a bit of discomfort, some awkward silence, maybe even embarrassment. But you know what? After 30 years working in men's health and geriatrics, I can say this with confidence. Masturbation after 60 is not shameful. It's a form of self-care. Simple, private, and deeply necessary. Why? Because after age 60, the body changes in noticeable ways. Blood circulation slows down, hormone levels drop, physical sensations begin to fade, sleep becomes lighter, more fragile. And emotionally, many fall into a quiet, numbing stillness. And yet something as small as masturbation, when done mindfully, can improve blood flow to the brain and heart, release endorphins, helping you sleep better, modestly raise testosterone, preserving muscle and emotional resilience, and most importantly, remind you that your body is still alive, still capable of feeling. I once worked with a patient named Roger, 69 years old, widowed, living alone for over a decade. When we talked about reconnecting with his body, he hesitated for a long time. But after a few months of gently practicing self-touch 2 to 3 times a week, Roger told me this. I never imagined just a few minutes each time could make me feel so calm, so warm inside. He wasn't talking about climax. He was talking about feeling cared for by himself, a feeling he hadn't felt in years. The lesson here is simple. Masturbation isn't some moral failure, as many were taught to believe. It's an act of listening, caring, and healing for the very body that has carried you through life. There is no age that's too late to feel. There is no body that's unworthy of affection, even if it comes through one gentle touch from your own hand. And if you're wondering, I want to try, but where do I start? How do I do this without feeling awkward or pressured? Then in the next part, I'll guide you through a gentle step-by-step approach, a safe, thoughtful method to help you reconnect with yourself from preparation to rediscovery. This isn't a technique, it's a ritual of aliveness, and you deserve to experience it fully. Number 4, breaking the myths. 4 lies that rob seniors of vitality. When I started talking to my patients about reconnecting with their physical sensations, there was one thing I kept encountering, over and over, year after year, deeply rooted beliefs that were never questioned, to the point where they no longer realized those beliefs were even false. One day during a small support group for older adults, a man sat quietly for a long time before finally speaking. I don't think that kind of thing matters at my age. I'm 72. I thought I was supposed to accept that it's all over now. The group nodded silently. And in that moment, I realized something. We don't grow old just because of time. We grow old because of the lies we quietly accept as truth. Here are 4 of the most common lies quietly draining life and joy from so many seniors. Sex and pleasure are only for the young. This might be the biggest myth of all. The truth is, the need to feel, to love, to be touched does not fade with wrinkles. It simply changes in form. For example, an 80-year-old woman once told me she no longer felt sexual desire, but still missed the warmth of her late husband's hugs deeply. So remember, your body never stops longing to be cared for, even in the simplest ways. Self-pleasure is shameful. Many people grew up in conservative households where any interaction with the body was clouded in shame. But ask yourself, do you feel ashamed brushing your teeth, or massaging your shoulders when they ache, or applying lotion to dry skin? Masturbation, when done with kindness and acceptance, is simply another form of self-care. And often, the thing we're most afraid to approach is exactly what the body is quietly craving. Conserving sexual energy keeps you strong. Some believe that avoiding all sexual activity somehow helps them preserve vitality. But modern medicine shows the opposite. What you don't use fades. Just like muscles need movement to avoid atrophy, your sensory and hormonal systems need gentle, regular stimulation to stay active. Not excessive, but loving, consistent nourishment. Sexual health is separate from overall health. Some say, as long as I'm physically healthy, I can let go of the sexual part. But studies now show the opposite. Seniors who maintain physical connection report lower depression rates, better sleep, and stronger immune function. There's no dividing line between the body and emotions. When you care for one, you begin to heal the whole system. Today's small but powerful lesson is this. Sometimes what weakens us isn't what's happening around us. It's the old beliefs we've never re-examined. And once you begin peeling back those outdated ideas, you don't just feel younger. You begin to live freer, fuller, and more completely. And if you're thinking, I want to reconnect with my body, but where do I start so it doesn't feel awkward? Then the next part is for you. I'll guide you through a gentle, step-by-step method, safe, respectful, and effective, to help you return to yourself with grace and ease. Number 5, the restoration method, a safe way to reawaken your body. When I tell patients that reconnecting with their bodies can improve sleep, mood, memory, and overall health, the first response I often hear is, I get it, but I just don't know where to start. How do I do this without it feeling awkward or strange? And it was from these very questions that I spent years developing a process, not just in theory, but through real-life practice. A simple, gentle, age-respecting approach I call the restoration method. This method has 5 steps, and each step is a soft reminder to yourself. This body is still alive, it still feels, and it still deserves to be loved. Step 1. Prepare. Create a safe space. Choose a time when you won't be disturbed. A quiet room, soft lighting, a comfortable temperature. You can sit in a cozy chair or lie down somewhere relaxing. And if needed, have a gentle, skin-friendly oil or lubricant nearby. This act of preparation itself sends a powerful message. I care about myself. Step 2. Relax, no rush. Sit or lie down. Take a few deep breaths, noticing the air as it enters and leaves your body. No need to force anything. Let the tension slowly melt away, like foam dissolving in warm water. There is no goal, no task, just being present with yourself in that moment. Step 3. Awaken. Touch your body with new curiosity. Use your hands to gently explore the areas you often forget. Upper arms, neck, chest, lower belly, inner thighs. Don't touch to do something. Touch to ask, do you still remember this feeling? And you may be surprised, your body might still respond, even with something as subtle as a shiver or a deeper breath. Step 4. Stimulate, but never force. When you feel ready, allow your hand to move toward more sensitive areas, but not with the goal of reaching a climax, just as a way of gently opening a door you've kept closed for far too long. Go slowly, stay soft, because what you're awakening isn't just your body, it's your trust in yourself. Step 5. Acknowledge and give thanks. When you're finished, don't rush to get up. Stay for a few moments. Place your hand on your chest or belly. Feel your heartbeat. Feel the warmth of your skin. And whisper or simply think to yourself, "Thank you, body. After all these years, you're still here, still waiting for me to come home." A real story. Elaine, a 73-year-old patient, once told me she no longer felt anything when she touched her body, as if her skin had gone numb. After 3 weeks of practicing this method, just 15 minutes at a time, she said, "My skin feels warm again. Not hot, but alive." The small lesson here is, your body doesn't need to be young again. It simply needs to be listened to and trusted as if it still matters. And of course, this journey won't always feel easy. There will be moments of awkwardness, self-doubt, even frustration. That's perfectly normal. So in the next part, I'll share the most common challenges seniors face when reconnecting with their bodies and how to move through them without losing the gentleness you're learning to offer yourself. Number 6, setbacks and success. What most seniors get wrong and how to fix it. If there's one thing I always remind my patients, it's this. Healing is never a straight line. Even if you've prepared your space, opened your heart, and started touching your body with kindness, there will still be days when you feel, "I'm doing this wrong. I don't feel anything. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this at all." And you know what? That doesn't mean you failed. It simply means you're being honest with yourself, with your hopes, your scars, and everything inside you that hasn't yet healed. Mistake number 1, expecting instant results. Many believe that if they do it right, their body will immediately respond, like it did in youth. But you've spent decades ignoring parts of yourself. So why expect it to come alive instantly? Your body needs time. It needs repetition. It needs patient, loving attention. It's like waking a deeply sleeping child. You don't shout. You gently nudge, whisper, and wait. Mistake number 2, doing too little, too inconsistently. Some patients have told me, "I tried once, but didn't feel anything, so I gave up." I often respond with a gentle smile. One try is not a journey. It's just a first step. See this as a self-care ritual, just like brushing your teeth or meditating before bed. 2 to 3 times a week, just 10 to 15 minutes. That's all it takes, but do it regularly. Mistake number 3, pressuring yourself to reach orgasm. Some say to me disappointed, "Nothing happened," and I gently ask, if a flower doesn't bloom right away, does that make it worthless? Orgasm is not the only goal. Feeling, presence, lightness, and self-love. Those are the real treasures you're searching for. Mistake number 4, feeling guilt or shame. So many carry old voices from the past. "I'm too old to think about these things. This is wrong. I don't deserve to feel this anymore." But those voices, they are not you. They are echoes of a society that feared the freedom of human connection, especially as we age. You are not doing anything wrong by touching yourself. You are simply whispering to your body, "I'm still here, and I still care." A true story. Mr. David, when I was 75 years old, gave up after the first week, saying, "I didn't feel a thing." We sat down and talked. I encouraged him to try again, not to reach a goal, but just to be kind to himself. In the 3rd week, he returned, eyes bright, and said, "The small lesson is this. This journey is not measured by results. It's measured by how gently you learn to treat yourself. And if you've made it this far, if you're still listening, then perhaps you're ready for something even deeper. To believe that you deserve to feel alive, fully, emotionally, and with connection, in the body you have right now." And that is exactly what I want to leave you with in the final part of this journey. A reminder of your right to live fully, no matter your age, no matter your past. Number 7, your right to pleasure. Why it's never too late to start again. A few years ago, I met an elderly woman named Hilda. She was 81. She didn't come to the clinic because of illness, but because of an emptiness she couldn't quite name. We talked. She shared stories of her life. Her husband had passed away early, her children were busy, and she had lived alone for years. Then she looked at me and hesitantly asked, "Do you think, at my age, am I still allowed to feel happy in a way that's deeply personal?" I didn't answer right away. I simply held her hand and said the same words I now want to say to you. It's never too late to start loving your body again and to truly feel alive. We live in a world that often distorts pleasure or reserves it for the young. But the truth is, pleasure isn't a luxury. It's a life source, a quiet current that nourishes your heart, your brain, and your spirit. You don't need to be young again. You just need to give yourself permission to live fully, exactly as you are right now. A true story. A 68-year-old woman named Rose told me, after 3 months of practicing the restoration method, "I used to think I had lost all value, but now every time I touch my skin, I feel like I'm reconnecting with a part of my soul I had forgotten." Today's final lesson, and perhaps the most important one, is this. Your body doesn't need fixing. It just needs you to come back to it. There's no right age. There's no too late. There is only now, the moment when you can place a hand over your heart and whisper, "I am still alive, and I deserve to feel that every single day." So if you're still hesitating, thinking, "I'm not sure I can do this," just remember, every slow step, every deep breath, every time you pause to listen to your body is an act of courage. And no one else but you can grant yourself the right to live this fully. Thank you for walking this journey with me. If anything I shared touched something inside you, leave a comment. Just a simple line. "I'm ready to come home to myself." And if you think this video might help someone you love, a parent, a friend, someone who's slowly fading without even realizing it, share it. Because sometimes just one video can reignite the flame in a heart that thought it had already gone dark. You've walked with me through a journey that wasn't always easy, but deeply important. We haven't just talked about health, we've talked about life, that quiet yet powerful force that still lives within each of us, no matter our age. If you're in your 60s, 70s, or even 80s, and you've ever believed that feelings, pleasure, or connection with your body are things you're supposed to give up, then I hope this video has helped you see something clearly. You don't need to be young again to live fully. You just need to return to yourself, gently, one step at a time, without judgment. No body is too old to be loved. No pair of hands is too wrinkled to offer tenderness. And no heart is too worn to be touched again, even by the smallest, most honest sensation. If you're ready to begin, then simply begin, softly in your own way. And if you ever need a reminder that you're not alone, scroll down to the comments. You might find someone else your age, also learning how to live again, also writing a new chapter of their story. Leave me a message to let me know you're here, that you're listening. Just write, "I'm ready to feel alive again." And if you believe this video could help someone, a parent, a friend, someone quietly fading without even realizing it, share it, because sometimes one small act can change the rest of someone's life. See you in the next video, where we'll continue to reignite the spark of life inside every body that once believed it had gone dim.